You call yourself a free spirit, a wild thing, and you're terrified somebody's going to stick you in a cage. Well, baby, you're already in that cage. You built it yourself.
I just want to start a great big place down in your heart. Down in your heart. I just want to. I just want to start a great big place. I just want to. I just want to start a great big place down in your heart. I just want to.
Digestive system. An insect uses its digestive system to extract nutrients and other substances from the food it consumes. Esophagus is a narrow tube which conducts food into crop. Crop is for storing food. Proventriculus or gizzard helps in grinding food particles. Hepatic ceca secrete digestive juices that are present at the junction of the foregut and midgut. Mesenteron or midgut is the middle part of the alimentary canal. It is the main site of enzyme production, digestion, and absorption. Malpighian tubules help in removal of excretory products present at the junction of midgut and hindgut. Ileum is a small, narrow, tubular part. It absorbs the remaining nutrients. The colon is part of the large intestine, the final part of the digestive system. Its function is to reabsorb fluids and process waste products from the body and prepare for its elimination. Rectum is where the final phase of excretion happens, with ions and water is reabsorbed at this location. These are the parts of the digestive system. The nervous system. An insect's nervous system is a network of specialized cells called neurons that serve as an information highway within the body. Head. In the head region, the brain is represented by supraesophageal ganglion, which supplies nerves to antennae and compound eyes. Fun fact, if the head of a cockroach is cut off, it will still live for as long as 1 week. Thoracic ganglia. In the thorax, three pairs of thoracic ganglia control locomotion by innervating the legs and wings. They also control the thoracic muscles. Abdominal ganglia. In the abdomen, the abdominal ganglia control movements of abdominal muscles. Cercal nerve. Cercal nerves are sensory receptors. These are the parts of the nervous system. Reproductive system. Sexual reproduction might be the most essential adaptation ever acquired by living organisms. It provides a mechanism for shuffling and recombining genetic information from two parents to create new genotypes that can be tested in the fire of natural selection. The testes. Testes are well developed and elaborate structures in young cockroach, and they are full of sperms. Phallic gland. It is a long and club-shaped accessory gland. Mushroom glands. Utricular or mushroom-shaped gland is a large accessory reproductive gland, whitish in color. Ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory duct opens into male gonopore, which is situated ventral to anus. Anal style are present in the posterior end of the abdomen and are found only in male cockroaches. Anal cercus. Anal cerci are important sense organs of the organisms as they are wind sensitive and detect vibrations. These are the parts of the male reproductive system. And now let's proceed to the female reproductive system. Ovary. Each ovary is formed of a group of 8 ovarian tubules or ovarioles. They contain a chain of developing ova. Egg chamber. Egg chamber contains a single large mature ovum at a time. Oviducts from each ovary unite into a single median oviduct. This is called vagina, and it opens into the genital chamber. These are the parts of the female reproductive system. Discussion. In the laboratory, exercise number 1, the instructor assigned each group to dissect an insect, specifically a cockroach, where the group identified 3 internal anatomies: the nervous, digestive, and reproductive systems. Upon examining the nervous system in the insect's body, the group saw its parts and labeled them. It consists of a head, 3 thoracic ganglia, 6 abdominal ganglia, and a cercal nerve. The Malpighian tubules play an essential role in the digestive system of an insect. It functions with the rectum as excreting wastes and toxic chemicals inside its body, maintaining a normal metabolite and water balance. The insect's reproductive system is a vital part of their bodies because the male and female reproductive systems are responsible for reproducing their species for their kind to survive. Conclusion. Therefore, I conclude that as a college student taking up an agriculture major in crop science, it is significant to study these insects' internal anatomies. Taking the time to learn these things will help better understand an insect's body, behavior, development, and its effects on the surrounding environment, thus gaining more and enough knowledge in controlling them to protect crops.
In this lab, as a student, we were able to perform the dissection of the cockroach. The sole objectives for this experiment is not to be able to successfully dissect an insect, but to be able to determine the body parts and its function of a cockroach. As a student, we were also to be determine the sex of an cockroach. For male cockroach, there are large segmentation of the abdomen, and for females, there is one large segmentation present in the beginning of lab. With my group mates, we examine a live dissection of cockroach, where the dissection of proper way to perform a dissection was shown and explained. To begin the dissection, the cockroach must be handled with care and be pinned at certain angles to restrain causing any damage to the root's vital structure. Thus, after following the correct procedure, we were able to correctly dissect, label, and determine the body parts of a cockroach. When examining the nervous system in the insect, it parts it's already labeled, and it consists of head, 3 ganglia, 6 abdominal ganglia, and ciliary nerve. The essential role in the digestive malpighian tubules because of rectum as excreting waste and toxic chemical inside of their body, maintaining also their normal metabolite and water balance. After conducting this dissection, we were able to determine the sex of this cockroach, which was male, because the male and female reproductive system are essential for reproducing their species in order for their kind of survive. The reproductive system of insect is an important element of their bodies. Conclusion. The purpose of dissecting the cockroach was not to only identify its body parts, but also to learn how to dissect a small insect. To keep it in place, use water along tray or a petri dish. We learned that the cockroach, unlike most cockroaches, are wingles and ghosts, are characteristic by the sound body parts identified included the following: sharp head, thoracic ganglia, abdomen ganglia. It was fruitful and interesting to learn the internal organs of the cockroach. It contains digestive system and organ that aid it in processing the food. Breaking it down help absorption, excretion. Thus, I want to gain more knowledge about insect to controlling and help protect crops.
For this laboratory number 1, we need to identify the different organs of the cockroach. We first look at the digestive system, which is very easy because once you open the cockroach, you will find the esophagus down to the rectum. Then after that, we move on how we will distinguish between male and female cockroach. You can able to know by looking the style of a male. And lastly, the nervous system. As you look into it, it looks like a backbone. is composed of ganglia from thorax up to abdomen. Therefore, I conclude that it is important to know the different organs of a certain insect, and with this knowledge, we can formulate on how we will eradicate insect pests on our crops. Thank you.
Discussion. In laboratory exercise number 1, each group were assigned to dissect an insect, which is cockroach, to identify their different systems, which are digestive, nervous, and reproductive system. As we further do this activity, we identify their internal parts and function to locate and label their parts. And we also distinguish between male and female reproductive system. Both of them has plenty differences like their body shapes and parts. The Malpighian tubule are an efficient excretory system to balance and maintain water and salt. They rely freely in hemolymph to remove metabolic waste from hemolymph. Conclusion. Therefore, I conclude that being a future agriculturist, experimenting the bodies and their life cycle of an insect or crop is a huge part. Studying their parts of an insect are necessary for us to know how they function and to know their development so that we can manage on how to control them and to protect our crops.
For laboratory exercise number 1, discussion, cockroach is the given insect for dissecting to identify the nervous, digestive, and reproductive systems. We examine the nervous system, and it consists of head, thoracic ganglia, abdominal ganglia, and the cervical nerve. In digestive system, it has Malpighian tubules, and for the reproductive system, it only identifies the bottom part of their bodies. And as for the conclusion, therefore I conclude that it is also relevant to study these insects' internal body parts. Having the will to learn these things will make you understand better how the insect will affect the environment.